Good morning, this is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. So first of all, I apologize for the last few days. There's been no driving markets due to a technical error on my mobile. I had too many videos on there and I couldn't seem to delete them. So I did initially delete them, but it still did not release the memory. Then I realized I had to go to files, and then from files I had to delete it again. So that's why there's been no driving markets the last 2 days, simply because I had no memory left on my phone. Work that one out. Anyhow, going forward, let's see what is driving markets today and what's driving markets for the last few days. There is a lot of buyers out there that are looking to buy on the dips. So you had Apple and Microsoft, which reported fantastic earnings last week, and they're still very bullish on the stock. Now, Microsoft and Apple, they make up 22.5% of the Nasdaq. So whatever happens to Microsoft and Apple, that is going to set more or less the trend. It's impossible not to get the others following it. Now, since Apple and Microsoft are such significant components of the Nasdaq, then what you've got is very simple. They will pull the trend of the Nasdaq. Okay, now just so happens that Apple and Microsoft were down yesterday, but if they were up yesterday, then the Nasdaq would have been significantly higher, well over and above where it closed up. And at the moment, the Nasdaq futures are up again overnight. So the tech sector is really roaring, and there's a lot of buyers out there. A lot of it was driven, the rise yesterday was driven by Google, which came out with significant profits, beating forecasts. And you look on the opposite side to someone like a regular merchant like Starbucks, and Starbucks did not beat forecasts and failed on its earnings report, and therefore dropped after hours trading. So you've got a tech sector which is bursting forward, and then you've got the general retail sector which are not producing particularly good results. So you've got two very clear directions in the market. In the moment, there's a lot of focus on the tech sector. Let's go forward a little bit and see what may happen in the future. Remember, as I said all along, the Nasdaq is very interest rate sensitive. However, it looks like it's either taken into consideration the interest rates, which I don't believe, but there is a view on that. And second of all, it could be ignoring the interest rate factor. If interest rates go up, and they will go up in my opinion, but if interest rates go up and they go up aggressively, then the Nasdaq will be affected, because the Nasdaq is speculative money. However, with companies like Microsoft and Apple that are making solid profits, that could hold the Nasdaq at a particular level, because they are 22.5% of the whole index. The rest of the Nasdaq are very speculative stocks across the board, with not as big a profits as Apple or solid profits as Apple and Microsoft. So you've got to pay attention to interest rates, and interest rates will go up and the Nasdaq will be affected. That is my very solid opinion, that the Nasdaq will be affected. At the moment, all those factors are being ignored. Let's look at a few other factors that could be bearing upon the marketplace. You've got Russia on the border of Ukraine, which I believe Russia is going to invade Ukraine, because Putin is that type of personality, and he's going to teach the world a lesson, don't mess with me, which he's done all along. And the price of oil is going up. However, the price of oil was going up before Russia threatened to invade Ukraine. So you've got oil, which is the most constant factor in global inflation, and that is rising. So that's also going to feed through to inflation. And I do believe that the inflation figures that are being reported at the moment are relatively low in light of underlying inflation, which is about to take off. So there are some other factors, again, that the market's either is taken into its stride or is simply ignoring. In addition to that, you've also got the manufacturing supply index in the States, which came out yesterday well below what was expected, and shows that there are supply chain issues globally in the economy. Now, when I put these facts together, I can see that there are trouble signs that you need to be aware of. However, the general market in the Europeans and the US, and the markets are being pulled by the US, seem to either take this into account or ignoring it. And this is the part where the trader has to be aware of. You've got to be aware that there is extreme volatility, and as a result of extreme volatility, you've got a situation where markets are jumping around all over the place without clear direction. And that clear direction will only come once we get an understanding of where interest rates are going and where inflation is. So one of my colleagues who's quite senior in trading in financial markets, he is looking into calls on options. He's trading options based on the actual solid earnings of traditional companies, whether it be General Motors or whether it be ExxonMobil. By the way, ExxonMobil shot up yesterday because the oil companies and the petrol companies are shooting up on the back of the rising oil revenues. So he's trading options, which is a great vehicle to get involved in if you're looking for traditional trading. If you need any help on options trading, then you can contact me. I'll be more than happy to direct you where would be the best place to actually put those options, put that trading. Let's talk about cryptos. At the moment, Bitcoin is pretty flat. It's up 311. The price is 38,000. Ethereum is 27,000. It's not really going anywhere at the moment, cryptos. I'm not sure which direction it's going to go in short term. The bulls and the people who are buying cryptos long term still see it at $100,000 plus, which could well be the case, and I am of that opinion long term also, but short term I've just got no clear indication as where it's going. But it's anyone's guess regards Bitcoin. It's very, very volatile, but it has been quite quiet lately. What else have we got to report? That's more or less it. So you've got summary, you've got oil going up, you've got manufacturing index that came in disappointing, you've got Apple and Microsoft that are pulling the Nasdaq up and have pulled the Nasdaq up significantly. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. You can contact me on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram. I'm going to do a short Instagram now for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Have a good day.